Alright, so we're having a bit of a disagreement about rotations in this game and how important they are. You need to have like optimal rotations or close to optimal rotations to make stuff work into 36-star Abyss and clear that kind of content. I don't think you do. I think rotations basically don't matter as long as you're doing something that makes some kind of sense. Being optimal doesn't matter at all. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to show footage of my last of the Abyss run from the previous rotation when I 36 started. These are completely off-meta teams, and my rotations, I didn't practice my rotations at all. I didn't optimize them at all. I just kind of played it by ear, basically. And yeah, I 36 starred the Abyss. It took a few retries on some floors, but no real problems. The blessing for that rotation, totally irrelevant. It has something to do with like bloom damage, reducing physical and elemental resistance, which didn't matter to my teams because there was no bloom on any of my teams. So first of all, I'm going to show you the artifacts that I'm using, just to make the point that I'm not being carried by having like absurd artifacts. My artifacts are very, very scuffed because I stopped farming artifacts ages ago. I've been leveling all my characters and weapons and talents and stuff. I have not farmed artifacts for almost a year, except for when Dendro came out. I looked for a Dendro Goblet for a little bit. Didn't find a good one, found some okay ones. You'll notice, first of all, real quick before I let this play, I actually forgot to equip, this was supposed to be 2-piece Pale Flame, 2-piece Bloodstained, and at some point it was supposed to be the helm here. And at some point I was messing around with my teams and like artifacts and stuff, and I forgot to change it back. Didn't matter. I still cleared the Abyss, even though I was missing the set bonus. And I mean, you can look at these. I'm not going to pause for all of them. You guys can pause if you want to like go in depth. But these artifacts are nothing special, right? Like you can see this one, like very low crit value and some defense, which is it's not terrible, but it's not great. We do have a 5-star weapon, which is nice for sure. Again here, these artifacts, I mean, we'll just pause on a random one. This one's actually pretty good. This is probably the best one in this set. But like look at this thing, right? This is just crit rate and a bit of energy recharge, and everything else is garbage. These are not like top tier amazing artifacts or anything. They're just whatever. I only have one, by the way, emblem set. This is my only full emblem set that I have. Again, nothing special. You'll notice I'm using Gladiator, 2 Gladiator on Fischl, even though it's not her best set, because I just have a lot of good Gladiator pieces from farming bosses, because all my characters level 80. So whenever there's like a gap and I just don't have anything better to put in, I just fill it with like Gladiator pieces, because I just have a bunch of okay ones. Alright, here we go again. These are like nothing special on these artifacts. They're fine. Zhongli, he is my on-field carry, by the way, on one team, and you'll notice he's on 4 Gladiator because he's normal attacking. He's doing Hydra damage with Candace. He's got, if we go back there very briefly, I actually didn't notice this at the time, but I noticed it afterwards. I gave him a defense Sands by mistake because I only looked at, I wasn't looking up here, I looked at the substats. I was like, whoa, these are really good substats, I'll give him this one. But I did not check up here, so this was very bad. But it's still a 36-star Abyss despite that. So yeah, you'll notice Hydra damage, right? There's a Hydra damage Zhongli, who's going to be normal attacking most of the time. Again, Rosaria, okay artifacts, nothing crazy. Kaya was here basically just as a battery. I needed more energy recharge on my Xinyan team, and so that's what he was for. Okay, so you'll notice right away, first thing I do is I cast Zhongli's Burst. That's despite him being a Hydro Zhongli and built with Gladiator set for normal attacks. That's very, very bad in terms of rotations. All the Theor crafters will tell you should never cast Zhongli's Burst. It's not worth the time that it takes to cast it. Blah blah blah, and that's with a Geo Goblet, and with like a set that would boost his Geo damage presumably. Even then, it's not worth casting. I'm casting it anyway. Why? Because I think it looks cool, and rotations don't matter. I'm gonna do it again. Well, there you go. I do it every time. Don't care. Okay. You'll notice I'm not. There's no like plan to anything I'm doing. I'm just casting shit as it comes up. The only thing I keep in mind is I try to keep Oz up as much as possible, so I stack the Oz. Summoning Oz. But other than that, I'm just casting shit, swapping between characters, pressing buttons, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? This floor actually took a couple retries because you need these 3 dudes to stay next to each other for this to work properly. You'll see it right here. The Xinyan spin hitting all 3 of them. It does a ton of damage, but it only works if all 3 of them are right next to each other. One of them decides to go off to the side and do his own thing. It doesn't work, and you got to restart. Alright, but it's not a big deal. I think it took 4 or 5 tries to get it like really nice. On this side, you have to, or not this side, but this second wave, you have to make sure you're staying near the ranged guy, because the range girl, I should say, because the other guy, the melee guy, will chase you because he wants to be in melee range. So, you know, as long as you stay near her, he'll come towards you, and you'll be hitting both of them. So, that's it. That's all you need to know about this floor. And again, there's no like plan, there's no rhyme or reason to how I, you know, use my skills. I just basically cast whatever's up whenever it's up, and I don't think about it more than that. So, yeah. I don't think I have much more to say. Again, these are not top-tier teams. These are very weird meta teams with Hydro Zhongli. And like this team, I was like, let me do an HP scaling thing where I have two Hydro characters. The HP, what do you call it? The bonus you get when you have two Hydro characters on your team. It gives you bonus HP. So let me put Zhongli, two Hydro guys who scale up HP, and Fischl because, of course, Zhongli attacks really quickly and he does Hydro. So with C6 Fischl, you're getting the electro damage from Oz shooting everyone every time you attack. Yeah, very cool. The other side, am I going to do my burst? I think I am, right? Oh no, I'm saving it for the next floor. No, I'm not saving it for the next floor. I'm just like, fuck it, go. Yeah. There's a cut here, this right here. When I filmed my successful run, actually, I forgot to film the first half on that run. So there was a cut there, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. I think I have 10 seconds left on this floor when I finish it. So even if you subtract, like, if you take the difference or whatever that I cut out, it's still enough to 36 star. Magukenki, by the way, is the same principle as, what do you call them, those 3 ruin machines from the first floor. You basically need him to do the right thing, stay in the right place, and you gotta just keep restarting until he does it, right? If he spends the whole fight zipping from, like, one side of the arena to the other, you're just not going to clear it fast enough with a team like that. I mean, if you're using, you know, national or international team or whatever, and you got like top-tier artifacts, top-tier teams, 5-star weapons, then yeah, you can just do whatever you want. When you're using an off-meta team like this, and like you don't care about your rotations, you're just casting shit as it comes up. I mean, look at my rotations right here, right? I don't think anyone would call that optimal. But when you're doing shit like that, you kind of have to accept that you're going to have to restart the floor a few times until you'll notice on this run he kind of just stayed in one place most of the time. And I got a nice easy clear with like 10 seconds to spare. So, very easy. Here, oh, real quick. I don't know if you guys caught that. There's another cut. I swapped which side each team was on because I felt that the physical damage team would not be good against the not Ruin Guard, whatever they're called. The big robot new boss guy. I think he's resistant to physical. I never actually checked, but all the Ruin enemies are resistant to physical. So I assumed he would be as well. So I'm like, all right, let me swap my physical team to the other side, first half, and then I could put the Zhongli team second half. So I redid the first 2 floors, swapped around. Didn't care about the times because I had already gotten maximum stars on the first 2 floors. And I actually meant to take this second Abyss card, this card right here, when you're below 50% HP, attack plus 60. I meant to take that. I actually forgot, and I took this one. And you'll notice that when we start out here, all my guys are below 50% health. I set it up that way on the previous floor on purpose to take advantage of that card, which I knew was coming, and I forgot to take it because I am a moron. But you can just imagine, right? If I had set up my artifacts correctly, if I'd taken the correct buff, if I was playing a meta team, not some off-meta garbage with a fucking spins, charge attack Xinyan and Hydro Zhongli, you put all that together, even given, you know, average or maybe slightly above average at best artifacts and a few 5-star weapons, even with all that, like, if I was playing a meta team, and all, like, would I need to care about my rotations at all, do you think? I don't think so. I don't care about my rotations with this. 36 started, no problem. Yes, it took a few retries, but, I mean, does that matter? You're out of resin, you need something to take up all the time, right? That was a nice easy clear. This is the guy I'm talking about, the robot boss. What's his name? Algorithm of semi-intransient. Well, I'm not going to say all that shit. You know what I mean. This guy, right? I figured he's probably resistant to physical damage. Let me swap my teams. Again, you'll notice everybody's below 50% health, except Yelan. For some she was like, couldn't do it with her. But, yeah. That ended up not mattering because I took the wrong card. And it's fine. It wasn't even close, but if this was like national team with like, if I'd been spending all my resin up to now, farming artifacts and going for those 40% crit value on every single thing and optimizing this and that, man, I probably could have finished this guy like with 8 minutes left on the clock, right? But even with this team, with these like scuffed artifacts that I messed up when I was equipping them, and I took the wrong bonus, and I don't care about my rotations. Even with all that, I did it with, I want to say like, was it like 20 seconds to spare, 15 seconds to spare? A lot of extra time. Yeah, it was 15 seconds. I wanted to end on the burst. I wanted to have like that cool, you know, I killed him with the meteor. It didn't work out. Very sad. But yeah, there you go. These are the artifacts. Once again, if you want to pause and check out any individual artifacts, so you can be like, but actually your artifacts are crazy. No, they're not crazy. You can pause. You can check. All my artifacts are, well, there's like 2 or 3 good pieces, but most of them very average, very scuffed. And yep, that's it. That's the Abyss run. 36 stars with 2 very stupid teams with very subpar rotations. So there you go. That's that. If you still think I'm wrong, hey, fair enough. Maybe, maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe I'm actually secretly a god at this game. But I don't think that's the case. I think this game is just very easy, and you don't need to try that hard to clear the supposed most difficult content in the game. So yeah, that's it.